What is up, guys? Welcome back. In today's video we're going to be talking about Master League Pokemon and Premier Cup Pokemon that you might want to consider buddying up to the best buddy boost. Now there's quite a few Pokemon on this list, but it's really like a top 5, but the number 1 is really 3 Pokemon because they all have the same exact stats. And so, I kind of consider that just like one Pokemon, so for the sake of this video. So anyways, let's just get into it. If you're playing Master League or, Master League, there's really one Pokemon that's probably the most popular in terms of people buddying up to level 41, and that is Dialga. And the reason is because it's one of the top ranked Pokemon in Master League, and if you buddy it up to level 41, you are able to beat a level 40 Dialga because you get that CMP tie, and you also do 1 extra damage per Dragon Breath. So for Master League Dialga, and also this is where the other 2 Pokemon that kind of are the same as it, Reshiram and Zekrom, they all share the same exact stats. They have the same exact attack, the same exact defense stat, and HP stat. And so all 3 of those, if you buddy up to level 41, they're going to get that extra damage per Dragon Breath against a level 41 Dialga. So you're going to run into a lot of, especially in the higher ranks, people who are playing Master League, a lot of the top players have the best buddy Dialga. So if you want to get that extra damage against it, you'll need your own best buddy Dialga or a best buddy Zekrom or Reshiram. Okay, so moving on. Now the next one is also for Master League, and that is Giratina Altered Form. So Giratina Altered Form, if you play against a Snorlax, a level 41 Snorlax, so someone who has a Snorlax that's best buddied, if you have a 15 attack IV, and the breakpoint is 160.09. So I'll put that, I forgot to mention it for the Dialga, but I'll put it on the screen there so you can see it. But for Giratina versus Snorlax, the breakpoint is 160.09, meaning if you surpass that as your attack stat, you'll get that extra Shadow Claw damage. So if you're going against a regular or level 41 Snorlax, so a best buddy Snorlax, and you have only a level 40 Giratina with a 15 attack, your Shadow Claws are only going to do 2 damage. But if you best buddy your Giratina to level 41, you're going to do 3 damage per Shadow Claw. So that's where the breakpoint is there. So you could kind of think of it conversely. If you have a Snorlax and you're going against, let's say, a level 40 Giratina, if you have a 15 defense stat for Snorlax, there is a bulk point, meaning if you reach, for example, in this case, defense stat of 145.92, you will be able to take 1 less damage per Shadow Claw if you have a best buddy Snorlax. So again, if you're going against a level 40 Giratina and you have a level 41 Snorlax, you'll take only 2 damage per Shadow Claw. But if the Giratina is a level 41, you'll be taking 3 damage per Shadow Claw. So that's how that one works. And really, I'm only going to talk about a couple more because I mentioned the Snorlax, I mentioned Giratina, because that's the specific matchup you might run into a lot in Master League. And then, of course, the Dialga versus Dialga matchup you'll run into a ton. And then finally, let's go into Premier Cup. The 2 Pokemon I'm going to mention are Metagross and Dragonite. So the matchup, Metagross versus a level 40 Dragonite. I think I might have talked about this in a prior video, but I'm going to talk about the converse as well. But if you have Metagross, you have a damage breakpoint at 215.81. So if you have a 15 attack Metagross at level 40, you only have 214.9 attack, 214.9. So you're only doing 6 damage per bullet punch. But if you best buddy your Metagross, you'll be doing 7 damage per bullet punch because you'll have an attack stat of 216.3 at level 41. So conversely, if you're going against a level 41 Metagross and you are the Dragonite, if you're at level 40, you're going to take that 7 damage, but if you best buddy your Dragonite to level 41, you're going to go back to taking 6 damage per bullet punch. And that can make a big difference in, all of these situations, getting that extra damage per quick move. You also might in many situations, you'll get one more damage per charge move as well. Not in every single time, but in a lot of situations, that's gonna play a huge role in winning those extra matches that lift you to that next level. And with Metagross being one of the most popular Pokemon in Premier Cup, if you're focusing on Premier Cup, I think that would probably be, in my opinion, the best Pokemon to buddy up for Premier Cup. So if you're playing Master League, you're focusing on Master, Dialga is probably the one you want. If you're focusing on Premier Cup, Metagross is the one you want for the most part. I mean, yeah. So that's my opinion. And if I left anything out, there's so many different matchups to look at. I could spend probably 2 days looking at matchups on PvPoke, but I'm trying to focus on the ones that you'll most likely encounter. Now, if you don't have a hundo like a 15-15-15 and you don't want to best buddy a certain Pokemon, that's fine in my opinion. If you have, let's say you have like a Magnezone and you have a Magnezone 100%, then maybe that's worth it more for you to best buddy, just because it might help in raids overall in general. And like for me, I don't want to waste like 2 to 6 weeks or however long it takes to best buddy a Pokemon if I'm not really happy with its IVs. Even if it's like a 15 attack, if I have a 14 defense and 11 HP, I really don't want to spend that time best buddying it. So I would prefer to wait, like to best buddy Pokemon that have 100% IVs. So I do have a Metagross that is 100% IVs, so I spent the time last season buddying it up, and I finished it up this season. And so let's look at an example of how this plays out in real battles. So let's just go into this example battle, and then we'll wrap up the video. Okay, so you can see there, 38. It was over 3,800 for my CP. And shout out to Kuba JT, one of my subscribers, awesome dude, for doing this practice battle. This was during the Go Battle League quarantine when Go Battle League was down for like 12 days. So we lead with Snorlax here, and they lead with Feraligatr, and we're gonna do Body Slam. And you're gonna see in this match where Metagross, like that extra HP from getting that Best Buddy boost, really came in handy. So you're gonna really see how much it makes a difference. Okay, so we take the Hydro Cannon. We're gonna go with another Body Slam. So this should do a good chunk damage if they don't shield, and they don't. So he's gonna go for probably another Hydro Cannon here. But I'm gonna shield because I want to win that lead matchup. What I'm finding in Premier Cup and Master League is getting switch advantage is so crucial, because the meta is so, in my opinion, rock paper scissory. Like there's a lot of hard counters to each other. Metagross to Togekiss, Togekiss to Giratina, Togekiss to Dragonite, and like Magnezone to Gyarados. There's so many hard counters that if you can't get your stuff lined up properly, you're really finding an uphill battle. So I really try to win that lead matchup if I can, unless I have some really good plan of attack to give up switch advantage. I mean, like, yeah, you have to have some plan if you're going to give up switch advantage. So in this case, I was trying to hold on to it. But anyways, we're going against the Gyarados with our Metagross, and we're going to have to take this crunch because we're out of shields. It does huge chunk damage, but we're going to go, but then they switch, and it was a nice switch. So on purpose, I don't charge my my Meteor Mash, even though it knocked it out. And then they're going to come back in with their own Metagross, and I switch into my Dragonite, and I do a sack swap switch to tank this Meteor Mash with my Dragonite. But I have enough health to keep going, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go for that Dragon Claw, and we're going to see what happens with this. Dragon Claw is resisted, but you can get like more than one of them off, so it does a good chunk damage. And we're going to lose this matchup here. And so, well, we're going to do this with the Dragon Claw, and they shield. So he shields, and then we go down with the Dragonite, and now we have to fire off our Meteor Mash just to get rid of this Metagross to make sure we don't get KO'd. And then the Gyarados comes in, and watch our HP bar. Look real close at it. we almost lost. I'm almost positive that was a 1 HP finish right there, and we win the match with just 1 HP. As they say, 1 HP in a dream, that's all you need to win. And so in this case, if I didn't have a Best Buddy Metagross, I would have lost that match because that Gyarados would have knocked me out. And so you can see there, it does come in handy. Getting that extra HP, getting that extra attack with your Buddy Boost, it plays a big role. So anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any other questions, please leave a comment in the comment section below. And then if anyone else has the answer to those questions and I'm like, let's say I'm not responding for some reason, Yeah, let's all talk to each other. Let's help each other so we can have a pretty good Premier Cup and Master League finish, because yeah, I'm struggling right now. Other than yesterday, I'm struggling. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.